All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into something I think a lot of folks in tech are curious about.
Okay. Yeah.
Data engineering leadership,
Yeah.
building and managing these teams. I mean, we all know it's one thing to be like super technical and great with code, but
Right.
it's a whole other thing to like actually lead people, right?
Oh, absolutely. And especially in this field, like data engineering,
Exactly.
it's unique animal.
It is. And so we actually have this book. It's called Leadership and Team Management and Data Engineering. And
Oh, cool.
I have to say, like right off the bat, when I was just kind of skimming through this thing, I, I came across this phrase that really just jumped out at me.
Okay.
It said app for independent voices.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait a minute. So now we're talking about like,
An actual app.
yeah, like an actual app on a phone. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, the book, I think, uses app more as a metaphor.
Okay, so it's not like a literal app.
No. It's not like something you download.
Okay, but what is this about independent voices then?
Well, it's getting at the heart of like what makes leading data engineering teams so tricky.
Okay.
These folks, they're often, brilliant, very independent, used to solving problems on their own, kind of like, a team of soloists, each with their own special instrument or something.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, like a jazz ensemble.
Exactly.
Have
Exactly.
all these amazing musicians, but who's going to conduct them, right?
That's the thing. That's where leadership comes in, right? You need someone who can bring those independent voices together.
Okay, so that makes sense. I'm starting to get this whole app metaphor now.
Yeah, it's about finding a way to harmonize everyone, making sure they're all playing the same song, so to speak.
All right, so let's say I'm leading a data engineering team, right?
Okay.
We're working on some big complex project, like building a whole new data pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
What are some actual, like concrete things I can do, based on what this book says,
Mm-hmm.
to actually bring those independent voices together?
Well, one of the things they really emphasize is the power of like a daily stand-up meeting.
Yeah.
Just 15 minutes, everyone gets together.
Mm-hmm.
Each person takes a turn, talks about what they're working on, any roadblocks they're hitting, what they plan to do that day.
Got it, yeah.
Seems simple.
Super simple, but I can see how that would be effective.
Right. It keeps everyone in the loop, builds a sense of like shared responsibility.
Right, so no one feels like they're just off on their own, in a silo.
Exactly. And it really speaks to that need for autonomy that a lot of data engineers have.
Makes sense.
They still get to own their individual work, but they're also connecting with the team.
Yeah, and it becomes more like we're all in this together kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay, now on the flip side of that, while communication is obviously super important,
Right.
I can see how like over-communication could almost be a problem too, right?
Oh, for sure. You can definitely drown people in information.
Right, like too many meetings, too many emails, too much of everything.
Yeah. And that's where the book talks about setting up clear communication channels and protocols.
Okay.
For example, maybe you use a project management tool for tracking tasks and updates, right?
Yeah.
But then save those in-person meetings for like brainstorming or when you really need to solve a problem together as a team.
So it's about being like strategic and thoughtful with how you communicate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point.
And it's also not just about like top-down communication, right?
Right.
Leaders also need to encourage that open dialogue, get feedback from their team members.
So it's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, putting myself in the shoes of like, let's say I'm a data engineer.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little frustrated, maybe like my ideas aren't being heard or whatever.
Uh-huh.
How could understanding like these leadership principles, how could that actually help me in that kind of situation?
Well, it should empower you to speak up, right? If your leader is really all about harnessing those independent voices, they should be totally open to your input, your perspectives.
Makes sense.
So don't be afraid to share your ideas, your concerns, your suggestions, all of that.
And it sounds like the onus is also on the leader to create that space where people feel comfortable doing that.
Exactly. It's a collaborative effort.
So it really is, it's both sides of the coin there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I think just to kind of wrap things up here, like we've been talking about data engineering leadership.
Yeah.
And it's clear that it's not just about the technical stuff.
Right. It's way more than that.
It's really about understanding the people,
the dynamics,
the dynamics, all those independent voices.
and how to make them sing together.
Exactly, and how to make them sing together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a well-conducted orchestra.
I love that analogy. I think that's a really great way to put it.
It's all about the harmony.
It is. And, maybe there's not like a literal app for that.
Right.
But this book definitely gives some pretty practical strategies for how to, actually do that.
Absolutely.
But I do have to say that this whole app for independent voices thing has got me thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what if there really was an app for that?
Hmm. Interesting.
What could that look like? How could technology play a role in, helping data engineering leaders even more? I mean, I don't know. I've just a thought, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting one to consider.
It is. It is definitely something to ponder.
All right, well, I think that's a great place to leave it for today, and until next time.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.